All right, we're gonna do a little bit something different here today. There is the doc, but there is no Dennis. Instead, I'm joined by Mr. Propaganda, Mr. Jay's Propaganda, as many of you know him on Twitter. How are we doing today?
We are alive and well and looking forward to next March more than I ordinarily am at this point. But outside of that, all's pretty good.
Yeah, it is a bit unfortunate. I found myself, it varies because I think the last time we didn't have a great season, 18, 19, the last time we were pretty out of the tournament heading into March. I was still pretty locked in. College basketball was a lot easier, I'm sure, when, I was a sophomore in college at the time, but now it's a little harder to be as excited this year, even though it's going to be a good tournament. There are some really good teams, but it just a little unfortunate.
Yeah, I was dialed in. I filled out a really good bracket that year. But I guess I do anticipate doing the same because I think it's going to be 3-1 seeds and like a 2. So I think everyone's going to have a good bracket this year.
Yeah, I think unfortunately the code is getting cracked. That's my boldest take, I think, is that we will see a perfect bracket in our lifetime as long as it never moves off of 68, which is ridiculous saying it like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we might be looking at 28, 29 for 72 or 76 or the highest number Seth Davis can think of that's even.
It
Um,
makes me sick.
but it'd be nice, right? That's what he says.
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Be kind, be nice.
yeah,
Yep.
such a stooge. Um,
There's so
but
it's a shame there are so many unlikable people in college basketball media. I mean,
yes,
we had our other friends at Field of 68 getting active the last couple days.
yeah, I mean it's the best sport and it has the most opportunity for people to like be, to have an ounce of fun and um I don't know. I mean, like considering when you look like that Field of 68 tournament, just how like actually awesome it is
Yeah,
that it's just nonstop basketball. For people to complain about it, like you would have to be so unlikable to produce a product so cool and have people hate you for it.
Jeff Goodman says, "Hold my beer."
Yeah,
All
I
right.
gladly
Well,
will.
we brought you on today because you might be the only person in the Jays community that thinks about the portal, thinks about roster construction as much as I do. For better or worse, I've had a pretty rough track record on that lately, so figured I should bring in somebody else to maybe get some thoughts on it now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I maybe haven't made the bold predictions or bold statements you have in the past, so I don't think there's anything major that anyone could pin against me as a miss or a make. But um,
Yeah, for
yeah, I
for
mean,
anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, so I've pretty publicly and excitedly called for the Freeman transfer and Aiden Mahaney. Those are kind of the two that I've attached to, and boy, those two couldn't have gone a whole lot worse for their entries to the Big East. Kind of cool that, damn near willed both of them into existence, but yeah, that didn't end so well.
yeah, I mean, I mean, you have to hope one of the outcomes of today is us maybe willing one or two, maybe just one. I don't know.
I would take one, honestly.
One would be really cool. Um,
I think it is kind of worth mentioning, though, to me, and it's something like I feel like a lot of people have kind of talked about, but not really explored enough. Like, okay, yeah, we're getting, the worst possible outcome out of the Freeman transfer. All right, we're getting, like recent stuff aside, even before that, we're getting a pretty bottom tier outcome out of Dix, right? Like we're getting a maybe middle of the road outcome out of Graves is fair to say because I think there was a larger gap on him, but it's not like these guys weren't sought after. It's not like this is a big like recruiting mistake, I think. Like you had Dix is getting interest from Iowa, Illinois, Kansas. Freeman, Florida gave him a call. Like so as much as
yeah,
people want to say like we maybe
I mean,
recruited the wrong kind of players. Like other teams were prepared to do it too.
Calipari called Freeman, and so did I think so did Mark Few, and it's like, well, and I think Michigan did as well. It's like, known known poor talent evaluators, Dusty May and Mark Few and John Calipari.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
you take so many swings. Like in Greg's career, he's probably taken swings, even just his Jays career, on well, I mean, what like 110 players by this point. And even if you're batting 600 as a college coach, you're probably doing a damn good job. So you chalk this year up as a miss, but for all the people saying like, oh, you can't give him another crack at the portal next year, I think that's a little crazy.
it's a little insane considering, I mean, pulled Jemiah Neal out of no, I don't know. I didn't see at least publicly anyone, I don't, I had never heard the name Jemiah Neal before
Yep.
I saw the news that we were getting him. Um, and that, I mean, I don't know. I assume we'll get into this later, but certainly, Jemiah brings, a bit of trouble to the idea that you can't take guys from losing programs because Arizona State is nothing if not, at least as of late, a losing program. And he, willed us past UConn like twice
Yep.
and, kept us in it against Auburn. So,
Well, no,
no,
yeah, Arizona State is a destination job, so you got
that's,
to give them a
that's
little more respect.
yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Apparently um,
It is funny because like that has been like a pervasive rumor for a while
yeah,
now, but I don't know if it's one of those things like I don't know if they know we all play it for jokes. Like if you're not connected to the Creighton community, like that's been like the joke for like the last 5 years now.
yeah. I mean, if you were an Arizona State football fan who also liked the sport of basketball come January, hearing that the head coach of Creighton, whose name they may or may not even know, wants to come to Tempe, they'd probably be stoked about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think there's a world where a certain 60 plus long tenured coach goes to Arizona State. I just don't think it's Greg.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
mean there was a point in the career where you would think like, yeah, maybe it's possible, but just too much has happened because Mac does, and I think he does get enough credit locally and maybe not enough credit nationally. How many people would even know the jobs he's turned down at this point? Because today, like one of the ESPN guys wrote, "Oh, TJ Otzelberger might get recruited by Ohio State." Like,
yeah,
all right, what are we doing here? But
I mean, they'll call him. I'm sure they'll find his number.
yeah, they will.
He'll probably even answer. But I don't think that's. I think he knows that if he wants to leave Iowa State, he can just hang out for a couple more years and get a much bigger job than Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, I from what I know about TJ, I don't think he's leaving Iowa State for maybe more than like two or three jobs, and even that kind of seems hard to imagine how it would happen. But Mac, there was a while where I think we thought there were a couple he would take. I think Notre Dame is one of those that popped up as like, yeah, that could be. You had Self having, heart issues the last couple of years that makes you think like, I wonder what would happen if that one opened. And curiously enough, now you've got maybe an interesting landing spot for someone else in K-State opening right now. And I had an early tip that they were going to go after Huss, and it looks like that's being confirmed. I don't it's just my guess at this point that I don't think it's going to amount to anything, but I'm curious what your thoughts are on that.
I'd be floored if he even interviewed. Uh, I guess I don't know. I think that Huss just wants to be here. I think his wife wants to be here based on the stuff he said in those interviews he had with, whoever would talk to him after he made the decision to leave High Point. Uh, I think Omaha is home. I don't think he will. I just don't see him leaving for another job. I think this was, I don't think Creighton is a destination job for everyone, but I think for a guy that played here, was an assistant here, married a woman from here. I think this is his destination job. And, to go to K-State where, they certainly have NIL. They have nothing if not farm money. But, NIL doesn't necessarily mean that there's overall some outstanding level of institutional support. Plus, Kansas State's making absolute asses of themselves, not trying to give Tang his money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, Huss has a bad year and says something a little silly in a press conference, and suddenly he's fired. Like, I think I think Kansas State is taking a massive misstep if they want to hire a coach that, you know, has any options. That's why I think they should hire that Washburn coach, whatever. That I mean, he runs awesome stuff,
The fighting
and
Ichabods.
yeah, I mean, the Ichabods are, and they're number one team in D3 2 years in a row, and it's like go do something a little original instead of the idea of them trying to hire another sitting high major assistant after they hired Tay. It just I don't know. I just don't think that makes sense.
No, I don't disagree. I mean, I think part of this exact discussion is a lot of the reason why so many of us are excited about the Huss hire and why you really can't grade it. Like Mr. Dennis did his video on like grading the Huss hire. Like you really can't grade it much lower than like B plus because it is a guy that you don't have to worry about getting poached. That there might be again similarly like five programs in the country that you would think, that might make him think, that might make you, move the family, move the farm. But it's a guy who is, he would have been a target for plenty of schools. And now you've got him in a pretty secure situation. And it's kind of at the point too where I don't really think there's any conspiracy behind the McDermott, like, oh, I don't really know when I'm retiring. I don't really know exactly how it's going to work. I think that's just all true right now. And they've just got Huss in a good enough situation where they don't really have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean he's probably a top 1% paid assistant
Yeah.
because he's in that middle ground and um I mean I think the way he sees I'm sure he is very ready to take the reins. I'm sure
Yeah.
he is extremely excited.
Yeah. I
But
mean, I
also
sat by, no,
like
go ahead. Yeah.
I mean well if you know you're gonna be somewhere for how old is he? He's like what 50, 51, something like that. Maybe
Huss
even
is he
younger.
that old?
I thought he was, but I mean I guess well he graduated college in 90
No, it was in the 2000s for sure.
2000. Oh
Yeah.
man.
I,
So I
I
mean
want to
okay,
say
he's good.
2002, maybe. Let me see. He's 47. All right, you were pretty close.
Okay. So I mean he's 47. Let's say he coaches till he's 61. You're gonna be somewhere 14, 15 years. You're not gonna what really would be a like life-changing decision because you don't want to wait one more year. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't. Now, if Greg said, I think I might coach for four more, then yeah, go like leave. You'd be insane not to.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, Greg has, I mean, he's like what a seven handicap. It's not like he's, it's not like me saying I'm gonna go golf and I've never broken 100. Like, he kind of has a next plan. He, I think, likes the idea of, going to Tempe and coming back a couple times a year for fundraising events for the Jays. I think he knows what he's going to do next, and I don't think it's going to be that long.
Yeah. I
But
mean, I
and
I think people are warming up to the thought that it's going to be sooner rather. I mean, that was kind of always the way.
yeah,
Is it was going to be probably not this year, but probably next year. I mean, I can tell you from sitting right behind the bench at the DePaul game, like he wants, I think, more input than he has. He's definitely
yeah,
active in trying to lead the team, trying to work with the team. He's not, I like you can tell when someone's like being, careful not to overstep, but he's like antsy. He's ready. Like he definitely wants it. Um, and I mean, yeah, what a situation to find yourself in where you're at a program. You talked about all the things wrong with K-State at the moment. You're in a program that hasn't fired a coach in 35 plus years.
Rick Johnson being the last fired coach, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if he,
So
I mean, the last guy that got fired doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, so like that's pretty good,
yeah, and
pretty
I
good
mean there
track
weren't
record.
there weren't a lot of dark times in there, but there were certainly a couple of occasions where, that could have happened and didn't.
Yeah,
So one in
yeah.
particular, but that's not
Eh,
important right now.
no, he gets a little bit of a leash in multiple ways, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that's part of the grading the higher situation. I mean it's the same way you kind of look at some players too, and it's like
Hmm.
the way, I mean, even the way we talk about guys like, I don't know, like Mitch Ballack, right? I guess that's a little bit before transfer. But it's like, was Mitch Ballack excellent? Yes. We talk about him like he was an All-American because he
Yes.
stayed for 4 years and loved this program. And I guess now he's on the bench too. Or I mean, uh, guys like Kalkbrenner, right? I think Kalkbrenner is one of the best centers of all time in college. I feel like what he did, I think, is extremely obvious this year, was ridiculous.
Hmm.
Um, we would not I think we also think higher of his talent because he was here for half a decade. Um,
Yeah. I mean,
Guys like Jason Gray. It's like, well, the reason we get so excited for like Omaha and Nebraska slash Iowa recruits is because we just feel like we have a lot higher chance of keeping them here for 4 years.
yeah. And it is something too where I think we take a bit of like personal pride in these guys too, who really embrace Creighton and Omaha because a lot of I think a lot of people who enjoy their college experience say there's something special about their school or whatever, but I think a lot of us in the community really feel that, and we go to bat for these guys like pretty aggressively. I mean, that's kind of the Big East way at this point, like especially the Big East Twitter way. But I think there is a certain level, like Kalk's NBA debut, like the number of people that were getting in there and getting active about it. Like we defend our guys, and the guys who it seems like are gonna stay are gonna be loved here, and Huss seems like just another one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, obviously, I've never recruited a player or a coach, but I would imagine the pitches aren't especially dissimilar from recruiting a head coach to recruiting, a contributor to your team, a decent minutes getter is, hey, you know, you can be really good and beloved. And I mean, in the case of Mitch Ballack, once you decide to hang him up, have a bench to come back to.
Yeah,
And I mean, I think that might be part of the reason people are going to wise up on transferring soon is you have really good players that have been to four schools in 4 years and say you have no connections, no place to really go back to, and they can't go find a GA job,
yeah.
and no, all because they decided to leave because they averaged 11, 3, and 2 at a mid major.
Yeah, a lot of them won't care, but a lot of them will. And I mean, I do expect to see some changes on that. Mitch too, like part of the thing with him was it felt like kind of the first, and we had others, but he felt like the first big transfer of the like, okay, now it, or not transfer, the first big recruit of the now it's time to go era, like we stole him from KU. Like that was
Yeah,
kind of unheard of, especially at that time. It still would be now, even though we've done a couple of those now. But that was such a big deal. And I think the whole time in his early going, we were kind of looking over our shoulder. Like transferring wasn't a big thing back then, and he probably wasn't going to do it. But I know I was thinking like, all right, are they gonna come back for him anytime soon? Because man, I hope he stays. And then he just did, and there was never even a discussion about it. Like, yeah, that everyone's gonna love you here.
yeah. I mean, that's how I feel about. I mean, now with money and tampering being, I mean, technically not allowed, the tampering thing, but like, let's be real.
Sure.
Um, like that's how I feel like I should feel with McAndrew. That's how I feel like I should feel with Jason Green. Those guys shouldn't be going anywhere. It makes no sense for them to go anywhere. Especially McAndrew coming off an injury shouldn't be as sought after.
All right.
But I would still be deeply surprised if either of them left. But
Yeah, I think it's a similar situation. There's the logical reasons are all for them to stay at this point. I'm sure we're gonna take care of them too. Like we'll at
yeah,
least make it competitive with everywhere else based on what I've heard. And it's the same kind of thing. Like once we're sure that those two are finishing up their careers as Blue Jays, then I think they're gonna fall into the same kind of category as long as they can have I mean, they've both had, I think, already, as crazy it is to say, enough success to be in that group. I mean, Jason just literally for the 2 points he scored against Oregon
Yeah,
is enough to get him into that group, even if he hasn't done what he's done this year.
yeah. He carrying the entire team on half of an arm.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's probably a good segue. I figure we'll start with kind of what we're looking at with the current team as far as roster construction going into next year, and then maybe talk about exploring outside options because I think that's a non-negotiable. I think everyone's kind of on the same page about that there's really no way we can just run back what we have. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I mean, what we have minus Dix and Graves is a even when you add Cottrell and Jaden and who knows on Jackson at all three, it's not a good basketball team.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Kalkbrenner-sized hole in this team is apparent. The inconsistency at point guard is apparent. The inconsistency throughout the team, I think, suggests what most of us know and knew from the start is that there was going to be talent on this team. Just not sure how it was going to all work in terms of minutes, not sure how it was going to work in terms of guys taking jumps. Like we were counting on a lot of guys taking jumps and just sort of assuming that enough of them would where it would count, but not really exploring the fact that when you're counting on that many guys to do something they haven't done yet, that's a dangerous situation to be in.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, we're deep. We're a very deep team. Uh, we're just not a good team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
depth implies nothing about skill. You
No,
know,
it's
there are teams in low majors that you know play 11 guys because all of them are not that good at basketball players.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I went to Omaha Stetson game a couple years ago, and Mavs are running. Before they figured something out with the new cut, they're running uh, like an 11-man rotation. You've got
Uh,
Fiddler and Osborne out there. Like you might want to play those guys a few more minutes.
yeah, I was at the Uno Denver game and that Carson Johnson kid's nuts.
I
Uh,
haven't seen him yet, but I've seen people talking about it.
I mean, he's not a high major guard yet, I don't think. I mean, he was at D2 Minnesota Moorhead, and then his coach got the Denver job and came with him. But he's averaging 20 a game at the Summit, uh, and he has a ridiculous like sidestep mid range situation going on.
Yeah, he
Um,
is. He is.
he's your like Schaumburg AAU guard.
Yes, we're both children of the Fox Valley, so we
Yeah,
we know exactly what that means.
yeah.
Yeah,
White
his
kid
stuff looks good.
had a private trainer. He's sick with the ball, but
Hasn't
he's
scored.
also like a conservative 6 foot.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that's a flattering number.
Yeah,
Well, he doesn't
lanky
do
white
much
kid
else but
buzz cut.
score, but he does that very well.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that 17 against UNO is the worst game he's had in like 2 months.
yeah. I would say they had a really uh I mean they basically just they would kind of just force the ball out of his hands by picking him up at half, and once it got out of his hands they were trying to deny ball in a way that was at least I don't know. No, they weren't face guarding him, but they were not helping off of him,
Yeah,
and that seemed to work enough. I don't know. The Summit is hard to watch once anyone gets inside the 3 point line. The big men situation there is insane. Um,
well,
in
it's
a
funny.
in a bad way.
Last year you had Jackson Money and Clough in there as your big men, so
Yeah,
it's quite a step down.
they did not replace them.
Oh
Um,
no,
but
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I don't think Carson Johnson will be our point guard next year, but I'd
no.
be very open to it if he transferred to an A10 school and crushed. We can revisit it. But
Well, it's one of those things too. Like I don't think. I mean, and we'll get to talking about what role we think Cottrell might play next season, but if there is a world where the coaches feel comfortable enough that he's your starting point guard, which I have many, many reservations about, even though I do think he's going to be a good player, that gives you a lot of like real interesting options of guys you target as a project. But there's just so much I think you need to improve in order to win now that projects don't really feel like something we're going to be able to take on.
Not in the yeah, I mean, I don't think I don't think we're gonna have a lot of room to take anyone that's a pure flyer. I think there's some interesting guys that are somewhere in between project and not, like maybe some, I don't know, maybe some Blake Harper types that
Yeah.
are like they're obviously good at basketball, but they play in a bad conference and it's hard to really tell, but they got something.
Yeah. I mean,
But
it's the same thing I feel like I talked about last year when I did the preseason pod is like sometimes with guys the worst team in the country is still going to score 50 points a night, right? Like
someone's got to
somebody
score.
somebody is scoring points for this team. So you really and it's up to people who know ball more than me to decide whether this is a guy who is a scorer or whether it's a guy who scores on a bad team. And the margins for that can be very thin in some of these conferences.
Yeah, I mean, it's and here we have the freshman player of the year in the, I believe, worst compound conference.
It's either that or the NEC, probably the NEC.
And and I mean, he's hasn't figured it out, but is obviously making strides towards figuring it out. And I guarantee if you go the best freshman in the NEC, I couldn't tell you who that was. He probably isn't seeing the floor.
Yeah.
Or if you go to the best freshman in the MEAC the year before, he might not be seeing the, it's you got to see something. And yeah, I mean, there's a reason that I work in corporate and the coaching staff doesn't. That's because they have a better idea than I do. But but damn it, I'll try.
Yep. And I mean, so talking about the current roster, I mean, you mentioned Harper kind of being in that situation where you can see it, right? Like a lot of the guys on this team are guys where, you see the flashes. The flashes are kind of easy to spot, right?
Yeah,
It just
yeah, I'd
feels
say
like
so.
there's too many guys who are in that category of like we can see the flashes, you are not ready. Because, in my opinion, and I think in the coach's opinion, we are always trying to build a team that wins a game in the NCAA tournament, that's become our bar. And I think we just have too many guys that aren't at that level yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the roster right now, and it's like, I mean, I see. I see McAndrew and Green, and that's like currently half of an uninjured player.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest, I feel like I can find flaws in pretty capably.
Yeah. I mean, you've got like, you know, Dix is sort of an outlier case. Again, even before all the stuff from the last couple of weeks, because he has a track record of success, not at a great program, but like the player he was, again, we're getting such a just low percentage outcome from
Yeah.
him on this, where he's a guy who I think, I mean, hey, there is actually still a world where he's a Creighton Blue Jay next year if this 5-year thing gets
Yeah, and
grandfathered.
I mean, I would welcome it with open arms. I mean, I was looking at guys that are returning next year, but I mean, yeah, Dix hasn't had the year he would want, I wouldn't think. He's shooting 31.5% from three. That wasn't the goal.
No, and but similarly, like I think anyone who has maybe watched him enough or knows, like you take him back next year if you get the chance.
100%.
Yeah, especially when your alternative is a lottery ticket in the portal. Like you take him back every time.
Yeah. And I mean, I would, assuming other people are leaving, I don't know, I'd be open to taking Graves back just on the knowledge of how much of a jump people seem to take in their second year of running our offense.
So it's that and just the level of uncertainty, I think, in
Yeah,
everything else out there. And we'll get to that, but I do feel like there's more guard options I feel decent about in the portal than big man options.
yeah, the big men situations,
It's tough, but there's still very
something.
few I feel like are guaranteed to be better. I mean, there's none that are guaranteed to be better than what Graves would be next year. There are even fewer that I think are likely to be better than that.
Yeah,
And especially that we could get our hands on. I mean, like any guy we're going to talk about today isn't a guy that's even guaranteed to go into the portal. So there's always that aspect to it too, that just because you think there's a guy out there, you might not ever be able to get your hands on him.
yeah. I mean, it's going to be a little silly talking about I don't know, Rowan Brumbaugh when he enters the portal with a no contact tag because Ed Cooley is offering him money to come back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'll
I
throw
mean,
his
I
out.
mean,
I
yeah,
will throw that name out later.
I mean, I'll tell you, I'm going to give you a little teaser for later. I'm going to throw the name Finley Bizjack out there. And if he
Hmm.
hasn't left already, who's saying he'll ever leave? But
I mean, if Thad leaves, I think that's. I mean, that's part of the. And I guess we'll get to this later too. We're just throwing a lot of previews out there, but a lot of these guys that are really good is because or the reason they at least someone that watches a good amount of basketball, but I have not watched every team. But a lot of these mid-major guys, they look really good because they're on really good teams, and their coaches are getting poached to high majors. And it's like, is Corey Mincy going to follow Tony Skinn to wherever he goes?
right, right.
I, I don't know. On the flip side, some of these high majors where it's like, gosh, that team is terrible. Their coach is getting fired. Those seem to be like the guys that they you have to figure out, are these guys good and in bad situations, or are they part of the reason it's a bad situation?
Precisely. Yep. Yep, I think there's quite a few guys that are going to fall into one of those categories, and it's not our job to figure out which one it is. But
I wish it were. It'd be making a lot more money, but I'd
yeah,
also have a much lower success rate than the Creighton staff does.
yeah, probably. But hey, you never know. You never know. Maybe you got a talent for it.
I mean, you'd be one
I
for two,
clearly do not. Yeah. um.
but
All right. So with the current roster, I mean, we just do. We have a point guard sized hole. The question is whether it's the starter or the backup, because I don't think there's a world where we're going into next year with Ty Davis playing minutes at point guard.
not sizable ones. I I could get around to the idea that we bring in, I don't know, do we bring in a combo guard that can kind of serve as a backup and also play the two? And I mean, if I guess if Cottrell is supposed to be this, Trey Alexander archetype, then I mean, does he back up point guard, flex minutes at the two, and Ty gets 5 minutes a game at the one? I don't know. I don't feel like we do that a lot.
No, I don't either, but that kind of seemed like you said that exact quote from Greg, like that kind of seems like how they're setting it up. To me, that sounds like by the time his sophomore year comes around, he is playing the two for 26, 27 minutes and playing the one for like 4 or 5 minutes.
Which I mean, if that's the case, then we go get a pure point guard, maybe one that's a senior next year in the portal. There, there are a lot of good junior point guards. How many of them are entering the portal? I don't know. Data and Thomas almost certainly is. I feel like Barrington Hargis at Colorado is solid.
Yep.
Maybe we can call Jeremy Fears. Apparently, he's taking calls. Uh,
Is he really?
Dusty May at least apparently rang him, but
Huh. Well, if we bring in one Sparty family, we might as well bring in another.
yeah, that's all alleged apparently.
Yeah, well,
But
those
yeah,
things have a funny way of becoming true.
right. Braden Smith at Gonzaga, they're Braden Smith at Purdue with the 5-5-5 pass. No, not that. But um, I don't know. There's certainly I would be open to the idea of I think Cottrell, I think it's just a lot easier to not run our offense and be the two. I think that's less of a learning curve if he's kind of flexing minutes between both while learning how to run the offense and have, I mean, Ty has run it before. There's certainly some point guards in the portal that have experience running good offenses. I mean, even if you get someone like, and I haven't watched enough OK State to really say this in a way that's like especially educated, but they have a couple solid guards. I mean, they have Jalen Curry, they have that Kanye guy, so we'll have to bring back power. I mean, like, are they good enough to the point? I mean, I know they're on a not amazing team. Yeah, because I'm trying to. It's hard to, it's like when you build a team in like, MLB the Show. It's like you know what your budget is.
Yep.
Here we're working with fake numbers that we don't really know, and there isn't a single verifiable number.
No, 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 no.
You're just
And
kind
I'll
of
go to
going
bat
on.
for the idea that every single number you hear is inflated.
Yeah, I mean, you're going basically on. You're kind of just vibing out a budget, and
Oh, this whole exercise is extremely stupid. It's just fun enough where people are interested.
yeah, and so I mean, it's like, I mean, there are two solid. I mean, there are three solid guards that. I mean, Victorious Miller isn't a point guard, or at least I wouldn't be eager for him to play the point here. But I mean, like, do you try and go from the well and try and find someone who runs? I mean, I wish Murray State had a point guard that was like 6'2" and a junior and an animal
Well,
that we could just,
we're 1 year late on Duke Miles because that would have been
yeah.
real nice coming out of High Point.
Oh yeah. I mean, him, Nigel Pack.
Yeah.
I know we're not going for projects necessarily, but if, and I don't think they're going to do this because I think there are a lot of forces that would prevent this, including the transfer portal. Like, you can't really, this isn't a time where you're like, oh, we're going to bring in all these guys and be good next year. But like Alex Wilkins at Furman is nuts.
All
The
right.
ball just doesn't stick with him. He's easily freshman of the year in that conference. He's averaging like 19 a game, shoots the ball pretty well, averages like 5 assists, can't defend anyone. A real like a real Creighton point guard.
He's shooting
Um,
29% from three.
and like high volume, right?
Very high. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but yeah, this Wilkins. I mean, his shot. He has an okay looking shot. I'm kind of surprised to see it's that. Um, but I mean,
I mean,
has,
his usage is absurd. His assist
yeah,
rate is super high, so I'm sure he's taking
yeah,
shots he shouldn't be taking. But
yeah, very much so. But I mean, he has a solid coach in Bob Ritchie that they move the hell out of the ball, and it's like, someone like him is someone that you would have to sell on a, hey, come here, you'll play minutes, not large ones. And this would be someone we'd bring in if we lost like guys and just needed people that are proven decent basketball players. If you brought in him and a guard that would be a senior and say, hey, this is your team next year. Throw Ty Davis 150K to hang out because him and McAndrew are best friends, and he's a great recruiter of transfers apparently. But
is
I don't know,
six
the point
six
guard.
five as a pure point guard. That's not unappealing.
No, and he's kind of lanky, kind of has the. And I mean, he's better built than like Abdi Bashir Jr., right? Like he isn't
Sure.
quite that. He's not like whatever he is, 6'6", 175 or something. If he's even that heavy,
His hair
he's
weighed more than him.
yeah. I mean, Alex Wilkins has a little bit more size to him, but um, he's someone that I won't be surprised if in like, especially if he like stays at Furman another year, if he's tearing it up at Virginia or something in a couple of years, or I mean, I hope for his sake, not like South Carolina, but I don't know if he stays somewhere in the SEC and does well, that wouldn't surprise me if he's one of those guys that wanted to stay in the region. But I mean, I don't know what to do at the point. I think you have to bring someone in, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any world. Like that's kind of what I'm saying. I don't think there's any world we don't bring a guard in because if we're really rocking next year with some combination of Cottrell and Davis and maybe like a Swartz or Zugic if they hang around, like that's not gonna. That's just it's just not gonna work.
Especially in a, I don't know, in a world where there isn't really much benefit to there's no reason really to prioritize development over winning when you can just develop guys for them to leave. It just, I mean, so we certainly don't face that issue as much as like a mid-major does, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, it's not a thing, or it's not a thing. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you run this sort of Cottrell split minutes, Ty Davis take 5 6 a game, and then you bring in the starter. I like Corey Mincy at George Mason, but it just feels I'd be kind of surprised if he didn't follow Tony Skinn to wherever he goes, just because of, I mean, how well he's played.
Yeah. I mean, and it's a little bit of that for me, and it's a little like he's been rough lately.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, I mean, the last time I guess I really looked at his numbers was probably 4 weeks ago, which if his numbers have gone anything like George Mason's, it's been a rough 4 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it now. I looked at it
Jeez,
earlier. Yeah, he hasn't gone double digits in a couple weeks.
man, maybe I mean, I hate to moneyball the hell out of this thing, but like, is that us getting him at a discount? Like at what
Uh,
point do you look at volume of work versus a skid? There,
yeah, I
there's
mean,
a
because you
question
kind of look at
there.
it like it looks like it's just bad shooting. Like he's two for his last, what do we got? Two for his last 17 on threes. So at what point do you just say, all right, that's probably a big part of it, and you count on him regressing to the mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's still on the year shooting what 39%,
Yes.
career 37. Like,
Yes.
defensively, I don't know. Are all guards defensive metrics that aren't, the 6 foot white kid in Lincoln? Are all of their defensive metrics bad? Like,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean,
it,
unless you're like a crazy high steals guy, your DBPM is never going to look good.
yeah. And so, I mean, his is positive at least. And in top 50 games, I guess there's only one game, but in that one top 50 game this year,
He
he
guarded the
was,
fuck out of VCU apparently.
what, they just like put Nick Lewis in hell or
He
whoever they're
must have,
running?
yeah.
Yeah.
Almost Creighton Bluejay, Nick Lewis.
That's another name that like he hasn't been great this year. I mean, I'm not proposing that we bring in a guy that is averaging like 9 points a day, 10 to run the show, but a guy that seems it's fun to watch.
Well,
He is a
it's another guy like you say if Cottrell really is your like number one guy, then yeah, there's something there.
Yeah, I mean I am much more amenable to the idea of platooning the center position.
Yes, yes, I agree. I mean,
I
like
think
all of
everyone,
this posture is basically from everything I've seen on Cottrell, I don't think he's starting next year. Like or gonna actually really be anywhere close to starting. And
yeah, I mean,
I
it
mean
seems people are split on that, but I don't know. I think starting freshman, I think we're maybe also Nemhard, Trey, Kaluma pilled that we're thinking that that's a better idea than it probably actually is.
I just think that's so unlikely to work again. But who knows? Because although the person who responded to me made the worst argument I've ever heard in saying that Cottrell is ranked better than Keaton Wagler, so he's going to be a better player. Um,
So it
the,
was, I mean,
that is somebody actually said that. Yeah, you can probably still
there
find it.
there are a lot of people that were better ranked than I think like over 100 people are better ranked than Keaton Wilder.
157, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, and there were
yeah,
also like over 200 people higher ranked than Zach Edey.
yeah. So. So there you go. There's 200 more All-Americans sitting out there if anyone can just pick them up. But no, like there is clearly a return to pre-COVID college basketball happening right now. Like the diaper dandies are back. Freshmen are definitely back. But that doesn't mean that, your base average four-star freshman. And I kind of don't care about all the rankings anymore and shit like that because I mean even these recruiting agencies will admit that the coaches that go after these guys are what affects their numbers or what affects their ratings. So,
Yeah.
like I don't care about that as much. I care more about what our coaches think about the guys we're bringing in, and clearly they're high on him. I just don't think it's for next year. I think it's for 27, 28, 28, 29.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, honestly, in the prep school era, it's like when I heard we got a kid from Montverde, I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
we're at a Montverde school now? Or, I mean, and like Jackson being from, I mean, Cottrell being from Wasatch, that's a, I mean, that's a program.
Hmm.
And Southeastern Prep has Anthony Black's younger brother that we've also offered, which is interesting to me.
Mm.
Um,
I remember when it was a big deal that we got Epperson out of La Lume. Like that was a huge deal at the time.
yeah, especially with Huss's Lalu connections.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna get that Weber kid, but or maybe that was just me being like Huss coached there, and this kid lived in Kearney, therefore he has to come here. Which is a bit too reductive, probably, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. The point guard position is so tough.
Well, we talked about Lewis as like an almost Blue Jay guy. There's another almost Blue Jay guy floating around there that, man, seems like too good to be true. And it's because there's probably no way we would ever be able to get him. And it's Trey Green, who is
Yeah,
shooting the lights out at St.
I mean,
Louis right now.
who insane? I mean, who on the team isn't? I mean,
Yeah.
that Sharma guy is. Brady Dunlap is.
Brady.
Uh,
That's hilarious.
Honestly, when he crushes it next year, I wonder if maybe he just stays at SLU when whoever comes to town. If he has another 40 something% shooting here, he can come be our eighth man.
Yeah. Well, because
But
I mean, like, because with Trey Green, like, yeah, he's not a true point guard. In fact, he's probably more of just a straight up two guard.
yeah,
But it's almost not worth talking about because he's just going wherever Shirts goes, right?
I if you're having this good of a year, I think he would be insane. If I was anyone in his camp, I'd be advising him to follow Shirts. I don't care where Shirts goes.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason he might not is because even with what he's doing, he probably has no NBA future at, 5'11", maybe saying it generously.
I think Torvik has him at 6 foot, but Torvik could
Yes.
probably have me at 6'3". So
Yeah. So I mean, like that's maybe the only world where he like goes and chases a bag in the short term is because he realizes, yeah, you're probably not going league anyways. So if your development gets screwed up, somebody in Europe will still take a flyer on you.
yeah, I mean, and if it goes well, I mean, it's like if he ends up having a Stephen Ashworth trajectory, it's like, oh no, I'm Stephen Ashworth. I have to live with my lovely young family in Germany and
Yeah.
play basketball. It's a pretty sick life
Yeah. Well, and
after
it's
a
not
G
it's not
League
like he
stint.
got I was gonna say it's not like he got booted out of the G League either. He
No.
just realized he wasn't gonna make it and is making a ton of money somewhere else.
Yeah, and he'll probably come back for summer league next year and tear it up again and kind of repeat the process.
Yeah, there are worse lives than that.
Yeah, when I stood next to Steven and saw we were the same height, I'm like, oh, it's a me problem. Got it.
See, at least I still have that excuse.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The point guard position's tough, and it's like, I don't know. I struggle to, yeah, because you basically have two options. That's spend a lot of money on an effective high major point guard, spend a pretty high amount of money on a really solid mid-major guard or try and find some underutilized high major. And I don't like the third option. And
Well,
it sounds like, I don't know, Rowan Brumbaugh.
so
Like,
I was gonna, you talk underutilized high major guard that we're kind of connected to. JJ Mandequit.
yeah, I mean, he is certainly a point guard.
He
Um,
is definitely a point guard.
I mean, there is no conversation about is he a two guard. If he's here and on the floor, I would expect him to be running an offense.
He's closer to
Um,
being a zero guard than a two guard,
yeah,
whatever that means.
and he needs the ball in his hands. Which yeah, I mean, his minutes have gone up and down playing for Danny Sprinkle. Like, no offense to the guy, but everyone wins at Utah State. Maybe he just isn't that amazing of a basketball coach. Um, and I know he already made a hell of a lot of money at Washington because everyone does.
Yeah. Well, and I think you could argue that's why JJ ended up there too.
Oh yeah,
So there's the world where I think, he got his bag. I presume next year's one ain't going to be as good. So
no,
if he moves on, I mean, the only problem with that is you're basically bringing, I mean, that what that does is it pushes Cottrell to your two. And
yeah,
then you have those two guys as your development pieces into the future. And that's not a bad place to be.
no. If you have a group of sophomores that's like, um, I mean, what would that be like? Or freshmen slash sophomores of like Jackson Richardson, Cottrell, uh,
Mandequin and
Jaden,
Greer.
JJ, and like that's
Yeah.
that's kind of just find a good center, right?
Yeah.
And McAndrew, is he gonna get a medical red shirt?
Yeah. Oh, I think certainly. He played in like two games, I think.
Yeah. So then, like, if he's a sophomore, I mean,
Yeah, for as much as everyone's saying, like they're sure McAndrew will move on after his next full season, like it's not a guarantee for a guy coming
no,
off an injury.
yeah. I'm not saying. I think he is an NBA guy. I think being a 6'10" shooter who still obviously has a bit of body to grow into, like,
Yeah. It's just a
but
matter of how long it takes him to get there.
yeah, and I mean, I think it's good for the program long term when you send guys to the league because I think high school kids want to play in the NBA,
Yeah.
and I think it's good when you can. And we already have, I mean, a one in Nemhard and a wing in Shireman and a center in Kalkbrenner there now. I count Nemhard as we developed him.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I count him as our doing. Um, and so I mean, we kind of just needed that four position then. And Trey is G League Player of the Year
Hmm.
and should be playing NBA minutes, and it's insane he's not. But um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the trouble with bringing JJ in is that he's playing 38% of minutes on a bad team.
Yep. Yep. So
And
it's kind of the similar question you have with a lot of these guys. Like, do they just not think he's good enough yet?
yeah, I mean, and he's injured right now,
Yes.
or I guess that's my assumption because he hasn't played since
Yeah, I did see
January.
something
But
about that recently.
I mean, hell, he scored 15 against Michigan in 21 minutes.
Did he really? See, I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
that's that's a feat. Well, he just went 3 for 4 from three, a couple of free throws, four defensive boards. Don't hate it. Uh,
If you're having four boards at 6-1, you're welcome on a team of mine
yeah,
in 15 minutes, huh? I mean, yeah, we all liked him like as a recruit. I think
yeah,
everyone was pretty excited about the prospect of getting him. So I don't think there'd be a lot of people too upset about having him back. I mean, he really is. He's kind of like a prototype Creighton guy.
yeah. Is it
Um,
just do we want that as our? I guess if the thesis is that we're not starting Cottrell at the one because he's not ready,
Now you need another.
then yeah. And I mean, if we, I mean, shoot, if like certainly, I wouldn't say I'm rooting for it, but like if Swartz moved on, then it's like, well, then maybe we do go get 2 point guards and commit to the idea of Cottrell being a two.
Yeah.
And
And
maybe we
I
go
think
get,
there's a world where that does happen. In fact, like I think you could argue the way things are shaping up that might be likely even.
yeah, which that kind of surprised me just the way it's gone, considering like how, I mean, seemingly really well he responded to getting benched against Oregon.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, he seems like a kid that is kind of eager to bet on himself, but like,
Well, I
I
know
don't know.
his agent was liking a bunch of my tweets for a while, and one of them was like, "Oh man, I think he's smart enough to know like he's developing here. He should, stay where he's being developed or something like that."
Yeah,
So it's a toss up with him, and that's good. That's kind of like a decent segue if we want to move on from point guards for now, like
into the two, three,
the
three,
two
three, four.
mess. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it seems like there is almost like it seems like there's almost three choices that are going to happen at some point, and they could either happen on their own or we might have to choose because you've got Zugic and Swartz, you've got Greer and Harper, and you've got Konan and Dimitrovic, and it just doesn't seem like we can carry even, like it doesn't seem we could carry more than four of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean that's basically my whole take. I kind of agree. Um, yeah, and especially with how young we're, it seems like shaping up to potentially,
Yeah.
maybe. Um, then like I don't know. Problem is Austin is the only guy there who I'm like he can go make his own shot.
Yeah. Oh, that's the big concern with this team,
That's
isn't it?
is he can't, although you'll see spurts of him. He'll have like two really good defensive possessions a game. It's like cool, do that. Like take three less shots and do that every possession.
I remember
Yeah.
the guys saying in practices like he was recruited to be somewhat of a defensive stopper,
Yeah.
and yeah, he does it like once a game. And you're
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, that you see that, do that every time, and you
Yeah.
might have something here.
And so I mean it's like but like Sports or Zugic I feel like is pretty capable defensively on the perimeter. And he can certainly get to the rack, but he's not an end of shot clock guy. And really looking at next year, as far as returners go, Swartz would be the only guy that would kind of give that title to.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you've got
so,
Harper who like has like his little like slower kind of bully ball
yeah,
thing, but that's
which
not the same
no,
category.
no, it's not. And I mean, yeah, I mean, it just is not the same thing at all.
No.
Because
And you can have teams where like only one guy can go and get a shot. Like you can have those teams, and you just can't have it the way we're currently constructed. I think getting McAndrew back helps some of that because he has gravity as a shooter.
yeah,
I think having a center who is a presence and who can screen well will make a huge difference in that too. So there are pieces still that I think are going to hopefully be there next year because the center you can't count on yet. Like we think we're going to get one that can do that, but who knows? So if those pieces are in place, you can live with having a team with maybe only one guy who can go and get his shot, and you can count on the offense having a little more of that motion we're used to. But it's still scary if Swartz does move and you've got yourself sitting with a roster that doesn't have a single one of those players.
yeah. And I mean, I don't know who the Swartz replacement is.
Well, I don't know that it exists because I don't know how many situations there are where we're going out and getting a two guard.
It because I mean because if I don't know. Well, this goes into the whole thing. Like this would be such an easier conversation to have if we knew what Jackson Richardson was doing. Slash, I'm seeing people trying to say he should start at the two, and I've even thought that at a point, but it's like I don't like. That's not really the vibe I get. I kind of get that he is pretty much a three.
He's in my eyes a true small forward.
Yeah.
You can get away. I think you can get away with having him at the two, and I think we're gonna have to if he does come here,
Yeah, because
because
McAndrew can shoot the hell out of the
yeah,
ball.
because I feel like there's no way you're not having lineups with McAndrew and Green on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people trying to say Green should be six man. It's like, no, no,
No.
I'm not.
If the team is good enough to justify that, it means we're in an awesome spot. I just don't think that's where we're gonna be.
Yeah, and like, I mean, after seeing this year, it's like he's just such a stabilizing force. I mean, and go impress me with a roster first before you're floating the idea of Green as six man because I
Yeah,
just don't.
if you want to say there's lineups where you'll want to play like Zugic at the two, Richardson at the three, McAndrew at the four, yeah,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, absolutely. That just probably isn't going to be your starting lineup.
no, but yeah, I mean, I guess if I had to pick between those decisions, I mean, I think is I love Zugic. I on a personal level,
I,
especially like just the hell he's gone through to play for Creighton. But sports feels harder to replace slash I feel like Greer can kind of do a decent amount of the things Zugic can do. I don't think I mean seems to rebound the ball better and like is younger, which is a thing that matters.
yeah, well, and so like there is this world too, where just this happens, and I got a graphic I'll be putting up during this. There is just a world where it looks like this. You've got you somehow end up keeping both of those guys, and it's something like that.
Sure.
It's something
Yeah.
like Fedor and Swartz stay as your alternating two guards. There's clearly situations where it makes sense, and both those guys could have a role. You have Richardson as your three, who probably plays a shit ton of minutes. Hudson's your four, and kind of gets odd man outed in that situation as your like backup four, because I feel like out of that group, he's probably playing the least minutes.
Yeah, probably. I guess, but then does that put Cottrell as pure backup one?
Yeah, so that would be something like it would be something like this, and you need to fill these two spots.
Hmm.
It would be
And like,
something like your point guard is TBD, Cottrell, Ty. Your two is Fedor, Swartz. Your wing is McAndrew, Richardson, Green, Trout as a backup. And then you have an open spot at center, and then whichever of Conan or Alexa we keep, if not both.
yeah, I mean, that's certainly the easiest to kind of wrap your head around.
Yeah.
Because I mean, some of these guys, it's like, I mean, I've seen some people like national media people before the season being like, this Blake Harper guy, he can play the four and some of these guys just say things without any knowledge. Like, oh, and I've heard they have plans to maybe make him a jumbo one. It's like, no, they're not.
No, no.
Like, like,
In
like
the
maybe
sense,
like an
look at
oversized two,
yeah,
sure.
because they heard Greg say like, oh, there are some comps to Baylor Shireman in there because he's a lefty and he's 6'7". And they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, so he'll just play a little point guard and he'll do a little bit of everything. He'll grab 8 boards a game, and yeah, not quite.
Yeah. I mean, he can bring the ball up in a press break. Like,
I
yeah,
We're preferring Green to bring the ball up in a press break right now, and
it's what I'm seeing.
yeah, and I
Um,
don't mind it necessarily,
yeah,
but
it's if it gets the ball across the court. But
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess I guess also with this, you are in the camp that Freeman is gone
Honestly, I don't know.
because I'm struggling with like this idea of like I don't know, and it's hard to get in these guys' minds, but like obviously Freeman's not getting the money that this year his value anywhere is not as good as it was last year. It just
Correct.
isn't. And it's like, can you convince him? the fact that he's a five, it's like, you know, can you convince him and another pretty good center to compete?
Well, by pretty good center, you mean somebody we bring in, or you mean one of our existing options?
I'd be tempted. It's someone we bring in, I feel like.
Well, because I mean, I don't think there's any world where any of the three guys we have on our roster right now are a lion's share of the minutes center
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah. And I mean, if I had to pick one of I mean, I would love maybe the ideal situation is that has like an ounce of realism is if Samet Yigitoglu entered the portal. My thesis for him maybe doing that is they play very heavily their starting five, and he is the only non-senior.
Yep.
And that's the entirety of my logic there. Is just that, they could bring in some dogs, but they could also whiff on everyone and be ass. And maybe he doesn't want to sit around and maybe he'd rather go pick a team he's going to play for than let the staff pick who they're going to surround him with.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I don't disagree. And I honestly, now that I watched a little tape on him today, way more athletic than I thought he was going to be.
yeah.
He is surprisingly coordinated in bursts.
So interesting thing. Uh, Besiktas. Yeah, that's who he played for in Turkey.
Oh yeah.
They would run him and Conan at the four.
I was going to say that's the same team, right?
Yeah, I was watching some of his highlights, and one of them was like a little shovel pass to Conan. I'm like, I mean, that's not really what we do with our four a lot, but it's certainly
I wouldn't mind
intriguing to
seeing him
me.
do that to Green.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that works for me.
yeah, and so I mean, my ideal situation would be someone like him coming in, and he's playing, I think like 60,
71%.
70, so
Or it was
70
when I
percent.
pulled that number.
He's playing 69.6, so 70% of minutes. That's public math, 28 minutes a game, something
Yeah,
like that.
roughly.
So I mean, it's going
That's
to be
enough.
hard to.
That's enough for me.
Oh, it's enough for me for sure.
I mean, because if
Uh,
you're looking anywhere else, it's a guy who's going to play about 2022.
yeah, I mean, and then because then who sits behind him is that Jaden Toombs guy who I think did we offer him out of high school that
Oh,
name?
that name sounds super familiar.
Yeah, I mean, he's 6'10 freshman, has decent numbers in 32, 33% of minutes. Um, and has taken a shocking amount of threes. He's taken 21 on the year as a
How do you spell
Torvik
that?
has him Toombs.
That's what I. Oh, he's low minutes. That's why I'm not getting
Yeah,
it.
he is at 32 and a half. But I mean, there's not a ton of red in here, which, and apparently Jermaine O'Neal's kid is on this roster,
Really? Oh, I think I
or
knew that.
a different Jermaine O'Neal Jr. Common name apparently.
Yeah, it must be.
But uh, yeah. So I mean, like someone like him, or like Mo Thiam from Cincinnati. I know he's probably a little bit more raw, but he's just kind of a giant. Um, I want another 7 foot something center though. I think Samet's pretty solid defensively, or he at least has the tools to be. He doesn't have extremely high block rate or anything, but
No.
he at least kind of has the tools to be really solid defensively, and that allows us to go get maybe some guards that get blown by a time or two. Um,
Yeah,
like
I mean,
I think Swartz's usability is highly dependent on who's playing center next year.
oh, I agree with that completely, and I think that goes for. I mean, I like McAndrew looked like a better defender at the start of the year, but he's going to be
Yeah,
coming off an injury, so you never know. Fedor is a good enough defender where he's not a total liability out there.
yeah. I mean, he certainly. If we are talking about defensive struggles last year, next year, I'll be extremely surprised if Zugic is a center of that conversation.
Yeah, yeah, that's I think fair to say. And then you got Green, who I trust against most fours out there. There might be a few teams that play small that he might have a tough matchup with, but other than that, you're going to trust him out there. So, depending on who you have at point guard, you could be pretty okay having those four guys out there as if you have a center in the mix who can actually protect the rim.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the value proposition to Gigatoglu is, we look at Kalkbrenner, right? Which is like that's the easy low hanging fruit. But then, you even, look at Huss, he turned Bodo into a two-time defensive player of the year in his conference as a freshman, sophomore, as a center. And I mean, I don't think anyone's doubting that this dude's pretty solid. I've seen him in like the low hundreds, upper 90s on draft boards. Yugatogu, that is.
Yep.
Um, and so I mean, it's not like he's certainly not out of that conversation.
No, and
Um,
I mean, I've warmed on him. Just getting to watch some of it. Like that's the thing too. If you think we're idiots and everything, like just do your own research. Like you don't have to take our word for any of this. But he's a guy who's already playing at the level that you would expect. I mean, like the ACC, unfortunately, is better than the Big East this year at the top. Um, Even probably through the middle, but that's a different conversation. So it's not a guy you have to worry about adapting. I think he'd be a little pricey just because it's SMU that he's leaving. Not that they
yeah,
really care much about anything that isn't
I mean,
football, but
I have no clue they're like the NIL situation of schools that you forget are in the ACC.
yeah.
No ounce of knowledge on that.
No, it just seems, and I like this could be just a completely off base thing that I'm not remembering a super obvious example of anyone leaving there.
Not that I can, not that I can recall, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't had a lot of like huge name guys either, but you just figure there would have been a couple over the
Yeah,
years. I don't know. I
eh,
mean, I can just like kind of think of one for just about any other school.
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, no, I mean, I guess I'm certainly no historian on SMU, but um, yeah, I mean, I think if he was on a roster full of sophomores, I think and they were this good, I think there'd be a lot of reason to stay.
Mhm.
Um, I think Enfield's a good enough coach where I'm not like, oh, he's coming from they're having a fluke of a year. Like I think Enfield's solid enough. Um,
Well, you gotta hopefully like the appeal of playing with an old teammate and a countryman too. That
yeah,
hopefully adds something to it.
I mean that would certainly, and especially if we brought another 7 footer, that's kind of young too. I mean, he'd have 2 years left. I don't know, but I guess Dmitrievich has 4. I don't know. It's so hard to talk on someone that you're relying on, you know, John Walker saying, "Yeah, it's looked good in practice," according to the staff. And it's like, yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it wouldn't be the first time I've heard that, and it's been not true. I mean, we got, Swartz turned out all right for them saying
Yeah,
all that, but you never know.
yeah,
They're playing against us, so a lot of guys
yeah.
look good playing against us.
That's yeah. So yeah, he was scoring a ton in practice. Like, well, I don't doubt it.
Well, that was I remember the one time the Rick Pitino quote about Hopkins in practice came out. It was like, yeah, he dominated everyone out there today, and it's like the despicable me meme of like him looking back at the paper like, oh, it was against us. It was our
Yeah,
own team dominated our own team.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of that I can concern about, like, because that to me is the question: is what the hell is our staying situation going to look like for our big men? Because like Freeman to me, he's probably going to stay because I don't think Greg is the type to force anybody out. He's not going to get a bag anywhere else. He's not the kind of guy who is probably looking to set up an NBA career. At that point, does he just stay instead of going to play for Bradley?
I mean, the one like I guess I don't think he would be willing to go mid-major. I don't think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
at all on his radar. And then from there, I mean, one school that is intriguing to me, kind of because I just said it once, but then I realized maybe it actually makes some sense, would be a school like Oklahoma State.
I mean, I don't. If he's not playing well in the Big East, I don't think he's going Big 12.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. They brought in like Parsifala. He's gone.
I mean,
I
like the
think they're going
type
to
of
have a lot of
schools.
turnover.
Yeah, oh, you're definitely
They don't
right.
have
I
a ton of
mean,
money. They, he could be a guy that you bring in two centers, and he is the one you really take a flyer on.
I just to
Um,
me the only kind of places that make sense with what and it's always guesswork. You don't know these guys personally, but what I think I understand about the player, he seems like a VCU or a Dayton or somewhere that's like not really a mid-major, but like that's more to his level.
like A10 Mountain West.
Yeah, or like a now even Santa Clara is too good for him now, but like
Yeah, well,
something
Bucky
along
Oboye
those
stays
lines.
and he won't see the court, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean,
I
yeah,
just don't think if it's I just think if it's not one of those options, he has very little incentive to leave. I mean, like maybe he could go to like Boston College.
yeah. But I mean, Boston College's center. I mean, he doesn't score, but he's kind of nice. He's Jaden Hastings. He would be one of the guys if we were just bringing in a platoon of like three or four mid centers that were just all going to foul out.
Dude,
Like,
we could just
hi-
do that with what we have on the roster right
yeah,
now.
yeah. I mean, like if we just wanted to bring in some giants, I mean, I think the Boston College center is only like 6'9", which
Yeah,
I know that people here did tune in to hear about Boston College roster, but
yeah, I
uh,
wasn't necessarily expecting you to just have that ready, but that's yeah, hey, that's what
is
they're coming for.
he's kind of nice, but I mean, like if we just wanted to go for a pure like just get in giants that we could probably get our hands on, like this is gonna this is gonna ruffle some feathers.
Oh boy.
Anton Bonk, backup center. I
That's
don't
not
hate
gonna
it.
ruffle anybody's feathers, I don't
Oh,
think.
it's gonna it. He's
He's
from
having a good
Charlotte.
season. Like,
He's at college at Charlotte. That's what I think is gonna terrify some people.
oh yeah, specifically Charlotte. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you got
But
something
like,
there.
imagine if we brought in Oswin and Bonk together.
I want to run back so many of these Providence guys. Like,
Yeah,
give me Vox. I don't even care. I'll take Ryan Mila. We don't need him. I don't care. I'll take him. Give me
I
give
would.
me Oswin and give me Bonk. Give me
I
Jameer
think.
Jones.
Yeah, I think.
All right, so
Uh,
back to the Provi guys.
yeah. Okay. Like, I don't think. I don't think Anton Bonk went to Charlotte just to jump back to the high major level to sit behind the same exact guy for his senior year, right? Okay,
Well,
like that might be a little far fetched.
he was double buried at Providence though, wasn't he? Like they didn't play him hardly at all.
He played a kind of, considering how kind of not amazing that team was, he didn't play a lot. Yeah, didn't play a lot of minutes.
No.
Um, but I mean, I want to say
8% of minutes? I didn't think it was that bad. Holy
I didn't
shit.
think it was either. Um, but he's intriguing just because it's like say we don't get Osman, say we get someone else, right? But like the reason he would be intriguing is like a backup center, or I mean, there's some high majors that would take him and start him probably because not all the high majors are that good. But I mean, like he shoots 31% from three. It's
25 attempts.
it's it's a little intriguing. There's an ounce of intrigue there.
I mean,
Um,
he has that like kind of like foreign big touch in him a little
yeah,
bit. I mean, he's good around the rim, like he is.
yeah, and
I
he's
don't
giant.
necessarily well, because here's the thing, and this is kind of the question that's going to apply for a lot of these guys. Would you take him or Freeman
And
next year?
I mean, like, I guess if the question's would I rather have them playing the same minutes
Yeah.
and the
If
same,
which guy basically which guy would you rather have as your starting center next year?
I think Freeman. I think he has a higher ceiling.
Really?
I think so. Um, because I mean, like, Bonk is just, I mean, there's a reason he was a little bit buried. I mean, it's like I'm trying to look who's Charlotte played this year that's even sort of okay. Utah State, he scored 7 in 24 minutes. Um, and I mean, he had 13 boards. Uh, he played okay. Um, but then it's like, 2 points in 24 minutes at Tulsa. I'm not saying we're getting, anything great from Freeman by any means. But like at Memphis, shutout in 15. Wichita State 4 and 29. Like, I mean, I think Bonk's value is that he's like 7'2", 270 and has kind of high block percentage. But I don't think he's a high major starter. Or well, I think he's a
Well,
high
neither
major
do I
starter.
necessarily, but I
Yeah.
suppose what I'm trying to say is I don't think we have one.
No. No, no, no. I
So
think
we might have limited options on what we can do about that.
yeah. I mean, I think if we were to like go get Bonk and have Freeman, I still feel like I'd want someone else to.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, well, because I think it's kind of a matter of if you assume Freeman is staying, we probably only wind up keeping one of the Euro bigs. And if he's going, there's a world where we keep both. But I think the question for Mac is kind of going to be the unknown in Dimitrovic versus the known in Conan.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, Freeman staying makes things a lot more complex because we know whoever stays between the Euro guys is the backup.
Yeah.
And we go get a starter and then you just get to have the conversation of who. Um, Freeman, it's like, does Freeman being there deter a starter quality guy from coming in and having some level of competition? A guy who, at the end of the day, was like sought after by a ton of guys last year and has a pretty high ceiling when healthy. And it makes the conversation a lot more layered.
Well, the problem too is if you do say, okay, Freeman is our if we come back with the same three centers next year, Green is just playing the five again, then isn't he?
Unless it's a different Freeman. But
I mean, I don't know if I'm counting on that at this point.
I don't feel inspired to. I also feel like I don't know, I don't feel like Huss is eager to go to battle next year without a um like kind of a defensive dog at center. As
Yeah.
much of a dog as Green is, he's also 6'8" and not a center, and he's just kind of
No, and that's like
doing his best.
I'm perfectly fine if there's games where we can play Green at the five. Like, because
Oh yeah,
honestly, I think he's getting ripped a little too hard for like not being an answer at the five. Fives aren't killing us any worse than other positions this year. Like everyone's getting second chance points on us. It's not just
yeah,
like Terrace Reed or Zoo, like so I think he would maybe look better with a fuller team around him, a better defensive team around him. And there will still be matchups next year where he's going to play. Like if Richardson comes on and we're running a lineup of, X point guard plus Zugic, Richardson, McAndrew, and Green as your five. Oh yeah, I think that lineup's going to poke its head out.
yeah. I think whenever I'm like kind of trying to mock minutes, I'm throwing like 3 Green minutes at center.
Yeah, there'll be like one like under 12 to under 8 where he plays there, right? Like,
Yeah, that's kind of how I've been. And that's also kind of how I'm trying to boost his minutes with the log jam at the wing
yeah.
is throwing him 3 or 4 at the center. Um, and then it makes it easier to say one of the Euro guys that we like plays 8 to 10, and then we go get a guy that plays 20, whatever the rest of that is.
I mean, it's hard, like, because you look at a lot of guys on this list, like outside of Yigatoglu, who plays closer to 28. There's not a lot of I think there's only one other guy I've got on the center list that plays more than 60% of the minutes.
Yeah, I mean I mean, I guess the argument where you could keep both Euro guys, or I mean, the easiest thing that could happen is we keep one of them, get Cody Peck, and And yeah,
I mean, that's not. I don't think that would work. Like Cody Pack, like good. I think he's a good project. Like from what I can tell, he looks like super athletic. He's got an outside shot. Like that's nice. That's a project. I think there is no chance he is a contributing member of next year's team, even if he commits here.
yeah. Oh no, I don't think he'd be playing minutes. I think it's more of I think JTT is more likely to fill in some minutes, honestly.
Oh, I agree. I think he would be
I think he's a
possibly
part
our
of the
starting center right now if he was healthy.
I I think if he was healthy, he would be playing like 15 minutes a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is, I mean, rarely do you want to say that about a walk on, but
Yeah.
like I love his personality. I love that he loves this school. Um,
Well, and everything everyone's saying about him seems like he's capable enough too. Like I don't even think it's like a charity thing of like we just need
no,
somebody. Like it sounds like he's made some actual strides. We'll see, but
yeah, which is kind of funny because I mean it's like at at North Platte Community College, he averaged like 6 points a
I was
game.
gonna say he was like the fifth
Like,
best player on a JUCO team.
on a JUCO team in North Platte, which even in a even in a podcast that probably has 90+% Jays listenership. I'm not sure everyone's even been there.
I have
Um,
not. Yeah.
it's fine. Um, but it's the house he built. No, I mean, I think JTG is fully a part of the plan next year because I think he's a capable defender. He's kind of a big 6'10". You can pretty much count on him staying, and he works hard.
I
I
keep
mean,
forgetting too. Like we saw him in the exhibitions. He did
yeah,
look good. Like yeah, I can actually remember that. Like no, we don't have to just count on what everyone else says. He looked fine.
yeah. I mean, I recall him walling up Blake Buchanan a couple times. Be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
that's a. I mean, that was before we knew Blake Buchanan was actually like really solid. Um, because he is really solid.
Yeah,
That's
he
that
is.
whole team is. He is probably the biggest shock to me on that whole Iowa State team, honestly.
Oh, I didn't know what the hell
Um,
they were doing bringing him in.
yeah, I was like, oh, cool. That's a really good backup.
Yeah. Let's say it
But
wasn't like Deshaun Jackson was that great either. And I'm like, all
yeah,
right, and you got worse at that position. I was like, all right, yeah, you guys might have been like Final Four contenders if you got better there.
yeah.
Well, they
Just
did.
they should have just got no swin. But yeah, no, they're I'll be a little surprised if they aren't in the Final Four. Honestly, they're kind of nuts. But yeah, I think you probably have like I don't know. I think JTT plays 6 minutes a game, and then you have a Euro guy play. No, I don't know. The problem is, it's like if you have Freeman play 18, JTT plays 6. That only leaves and you can't have Freeman play that many minutes. But then it's like, where else is he gonna go? It,
I think there's just a world
this
where
is
he
the
just
hardest
rides the bench
conversation,
next year. Like if
and
he if
just
he
plays
decides to
12 a game.
stay, I 12, I think like closer to like zero.
Really?
He's doing it right now on what should be a much worse team than we'll have next year, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, he's not playing today.
No, and yeah, I mean I'm imagine that's because he's injured, but he's had a lot of DNP CDs recently, so
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe I don't know. It's like if you're a high major coach and you can't, because I mean, I don't even think you have to go as far as Boston College. I think there are some schools that could bring him and another center in and say, outwork each other.
yeah. If he went to like Wake Forest next year, even
Yeah.
and Forbes like gets him and then a defensive big in there as a rotation, like that could even work a little bit.
Yeah.
I just I don't know how it works here at this point.
I don't think it could work here at the level I don't think it works here at the level of us trying to build teams where it's surprising if we don't win a tournament game.
Yeah.
I don't think that I just don't think that's where we're at.
So
And
it's
I
so it's
think
almost a situation then of me thinking I think it kind of doesn't like Mac will not factor it in if he stays. He's going to do what he did with Zugic this year and prepare the roster as if he's not here.
sure.
I'm thinking, yeah, like JTT, like 4 to 6 minutes, Konan's or Dimitrovic, like 12 to 15, and then the other guy the rest. I don't know. Green
Yeah,
throws in a
I
few.
mean,
That's kind of
yeah,
where I'm getting to this thing where I'm like, it might not be a super. It might be a center you look at, you go like, you sure that's who we're gonna roll with because they're. It might just be a by committee thing, and I don't love that, but I don't know how many great options we have.
yeah. I mean, it's. I think yeah, if you miss on what some group of like uh Yigatoglu and
Isaiah
Isaiah
Nelson,
Nelson and Nwoko
Nwoku.
and I mean Stephon
That's
Payne.
okay. I didn't even
That
have
would be
him. I was
awesome.
gonna say we're
That would
getting
be so awesome. Uh or I mean like I don't think he's the truth, but like Uday at Miami by way of wherever the hell first Duke and TCU.
TCU.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's been in every power conference just about. So I mean, at
has it? I
least
thought he's only TCU in Miami.
I thought he started at Duke, didn't he? Or is that someone
No,
else?
because he was another guy that we almost had. He was
Huh.
I yeah. Oh, he started at Kansas.
Kansas, right?
Shit. Okay, I
Yeah.
blanked that out completely. But he
Yeah.
was a guy we were in his final like 6 or 8.
Yeah. No, because I know that we had offered him, but I mean, which that's kind of the thing is like, it's the first place I look when I'm looking at transfers, like what guys have been on our campus before.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Um, One guy that's a thought is like, I think it's only a thought if Randy Bennett goes to Arizona State, like, does McKeever
Yeah,
transfer?
yeah. I have him on
And
my
and if he
my
does,
long
does he
list.
just follow him to Arizona? I mean, he's
I
from
think
like
he would,
Australia,
and honestly,
so.
I'm not sold on him anyways. Like
Yeah, I guess
he'd
I'm
be
more
better than
sold on
anything
him
we
than
have, but
yeah, like Bucky Aboye.
mm, how
Has
about Bullion at New Mexico?
yeah, I mean, how would JT? No, I'm kidding. But at least that I'm happy for the kid. He's had an okay year there. But um, oh, what's his name? I had a guy, lost him. Oh well.
Wessler, Faulkner.
I have Westler on my list of like that's a guy that's sort of large. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just not.
None of them are super exciting.
Yeah, I mean Somtil Cyril at Georgia, but like there's no evidence he's going anywhere. Like, I mean maybe he does or maybe he doesn't.
One option that I think is more likely to happen than people would. I was at the DePaul pregame. Mac talked super highly about Fabian Flores.
I
Do you not
I
even
don't
know who that is? I wouldn't
I
blame you because you shouldn't. He called him akin to a young Kalkbrenner. And I
I
feel like
mean
those words don't just get thrown around.
I mean I just typed in Flores and unless I spelled
Oh, he
I mean
plays like 20% of minutes,
I
I
was gonna
think.
say he doesn't even like I love the Big East. I've watched every team. I guess he's a 7-2 freshman. Like, sure.
Yeah, the
Um,
70% shooter, 130 O
yeah.
rating.
I mean, like, who am I to say no? We're not in a position to be like, nah, we're good
If
because
Greg
we're not
McDermott
good.
says this guy is good at basketball, I'm going to believe him.
I'm sure inclined to. I mean,
Well, I know he's
yeah,
like a lob guy too. Like I saw a little bit of him play. Like he's just athletic for 7'2".
yeah.
If you told me he was our backup center next year, I'd be like, yeah, okay,
Well,
sure.
yeah. I mean, I would say try and bring a guy like that Jaden Toombs kid, but he's from Texas or from Dallas even, so I don't.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's got that, and the fact that he's a freshman on a team that's like about to be like he's going to be starting there next year if Yagatogu. I don't know. One of them has to leave. I feel like in an era where people don't like sitting, especially when you were a top 30 high school prospect, you're not trying to wait till junior year to play. But
Yeah.
um, Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sure. I guess it's like if the Euro guys leave, and then it's like, well, we certainly have the roster spots.
I don't think there's a world where both of them leave. I think
I
it's
could,
more likely
I could
neither of
see
them
it.
do.
I mean, I guess I could see it in that like I mean, Dmitrievich has 4 years of eligibility. He could functionally just run another recruitment.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
and
there's no.
I mean, is there just a world where one of them starts next year?
I mean, I've heard good things about Dmitrievich. I'd be kind of surprised if we ran Conan starting just because I don't know. He's like 6'9"
Yep.
and he certainly isn't much of a drop coverage guy, and I feel like after this year they're going to want to go back to that or at least try and get personnel to allow them to go back to that.
Yeah, I mean, Dmitrievich would be, I think he's the likelier just because he's an unknown commodity.
Yeah,
And
and
in
has
theory,
4 years left too.
yeah, and in theory has some like offensive range too. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, if you told me he was good enough, like he's a highly touted Euro guy, it's just nobody
yeah.
fucking knows if that means anything.
I mean, what he had visits with Michigan and Illinois. And it's like
Yeah.
Brad knows what he's doing in the Euro department.
Yeah. I mean, Michigan was apparently poaching him up until the last minute and he decided to stay. So, yeah,
Yeah, I
guys who you
mean,
would trust are wanted him.
yeah, I mean, Dusty May and Brad Underwood are certainly good big men evaluators. Shoot, what about that Pavel Bako guy?
Yeah, what happened to him? Yeah.
I think nothing happened to him. He just stayed in Europe for another year.
Admittedly, again, watching his stuff, I thought he was slow as balls.
Oh, he is so slow. He probably has better touch around the rim at least a year ago than Dmitrievich did a year ago. Probably more like refined offensive game, but like he would 100% get the ball poked from him 2, 3 times a game,
Not even
uh,
pull what's left of his hair out.
and yeah, well, and he'd be the last back on defense, and there would be a lot of great annoyance with him, I think, but also kind of polished for. I think he was like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
I think Dmitrievich is 18, probably 19 now, but I don't know. The center positions that's the most confusing one. I don't know what to do with it.
Because, like, if you just told me we have the same three centers next year and Dmitrievich developed nicely and he looks like a decent player, although he's hurt now. Like, that's an important part of that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He
Yeah,
is.
I did too. He's probably fucked till God knows when. It sounded pretty bad. Conan, you could convince me he has a good off season of development. I could
Yeah,
I could buy that. He's super athletic. Like he just gets a little quicker. He could be a pretty good player. But like you said, I think the drop coverage point is well taken. I think in theory we would try to get back to that, and that would be more achievable with Dmitrievich. I mean, like Freeman just doesn't fit any way that we'd want to play next year. So unless he really is just so hurt that he is a shell of himself, I do not see how he is in your top two centers next year.
he would have to be. Yeah, he would have to just have the off season of a lifetime. I
Yeah.
mean, and no pickup allowed. But well, and that's the thing because like Conan naturally is probably more like the sort of like true power forward dunker spot situation, and that's yeah. I mean, he was playing kind of like the big four in Turkey. Um, it is. I mean, nowadays 6'9" is kind of it's undersized for a center. I mean,
Yep.
we have our two stretch fours are taller,
Yep.
and I mean that's the other thing is Isaac Trout gonna come back?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
I I feel like he
I
should,
just
but
don't know
like
where he would go.
he has his degree. Um, he's had his. I mean, I think he could. I think if he
Has
went,
has has his girlfriend graduated yet, or his fiance now?
I
I think she's still like becoming a senior this year.
maybe yeah. I'll say because I mean I could see him like I don't know. Part of me for his sake wants him to go like just go crush it at Murray State.
Yeah. That's probably the
Um,
only place he would reasonably go, right?
I would think if like UNO were in the Valley, I could see that.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be
I don't think he's gonna leave. I think he knows what
no,
his role is, and he
he
knows
knows
he's
his
got
role.
1 year of
He's
basketball
good
left.
at it. I don't think we're not taking care of him.
No,
I
the
think he
reason, like part of the reason he came back is because we let him not bulk up, like stuff with his like diabetes. I guess Virginia
yeah,
wanted him to play more like a five, and we told him, no, you don't have to do that if it puts you at risk, whatever. I don't think he's going anywhere.
yeah,
So I think he's just there'll be games where he can play. Like I
yeah.
mean I even said it like the last game. Like there are Trout games and there are non-Trout games.
Oh
If
yeah,
if your job is to guard like Caravan for 10 minutes, okay, you're probably fine, honestly.
yeah.
If your job is to follow like Dylan Mitchell around, no. No,
No, well,
you're not gonna be doing that.
if we didn't have him this year when McAndrew went down, we would have been so hosed.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know what we would have. I mean,
I mean,
what on
you'd say
earth?
like just Hudson would have had to learn on the job, but oh yeah, he was hurt too. So
Yeah, like I mean, it would have been. I mean, you would have just had to let Blake Harper play 35 minutes and
yeah, and
and figure it out.
then we would have been undersized everywhere in the lineup,
Yeah,
which would have been a lot of fun.
yeah, because I mean, we have all these guys that can play two positions, and like you could convert me on Blake at the two, and I mean, I don't know this having this much depth and none of it. The only two pieces like this has to be the case and this has to be the case are Green and McAndrew.
Yep.
The rest I can. The rest you could talk to me to. But I mean, I guess if the lineup ends up being something to the effect of portal point guard, call it Zugic, Green, McAndrew, portal center, Richardson sixth man, Hudson slash Harper, Swartz. That no, but knowing there can create a shot. It's like Swartz has to be playing more minutes, unless Swartz leaves and like I mean, if we go budget at the five, we can try and get Trey Green to or a guy like him. Or I mean, someone like I don't know. We need someone that can create a shot and defend, or we need a center. So I think we just start poaching Yegatoglou or Osman now.
Oh, I would imagine we've had some conversations already. How about John Mobley?
I I've read Ohio State fans think he's like garbage. I
I
haven't watched any Ohio State because I can't watch Jake Diebler coach. I just don't think he knows what he's doing.
I he's an interesting case because I've seen that too. Nothing in his numbers would suggest that to be the case. I mean, he's shooting 40% on high volume from three.
Yeah,
His usage is still relatively low just because of how often Thornton has the ball.
yeah,
His efficiency is fine. His PRPG is good. Like he's in theory like close to a 9.54 guy in his splits. He doesn't get inside a whole lot, so he's not like a true three level scorer, but he can make his own shot. He's a 3-point shooter. He's a pretty decent passer. Like I think he checks a lot of boxes if he's going to move on.
yeah. Which I mean, I would. I don't know if I was on the Call Street betting market, I would probably guess he will.
I would be
But
surprised if he doesn't.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, if you end up at Ohio State in the first place, you know what you're getting yourself into. But with
yeah,
Thornton going, like they're not going to be any good next year.
no. I think like I don't know. That makes me think of guys like. I mean, the more I think about it, the more I think the odds of him transferring are so deeply low. But like Mason Falslev has had three head coaches in
Yeah,
3 years,
he's been on
and
my list for this year for a
yeah,
long time.
he's so good.
He is. I have major concerns about him that I didn't have a couple days ago. And I watched a couple Utah State games. I just think he gets eaten up by better defenders.
Yeah,
I just
I
think his
mean,
game style is way too slow.
yeah, I mean, I think he's a high major player. Maybe he doesn't fit here, or at least if he fits here, re require a lot of things about the way we're built to be different.
Yeah, there's like like if he was on like a previous Jays team surrounded by like if he was the three on a team with Ashworth, Trey, and Baylor as your guys around you and Culk in the middle, I think he's a great player. If he's on this Jays team that we're going to have next year, I just don't think he can get the shots that he needs to have.
Yeah, I mean, oh, it's interesting. He shoots the ball really well against like as far as just makes and misses. Shoots the ball really well against good teams. Shooting like 48% against top 50 teams.
Well, because he's super smart. Like that's the
Yeah.
part where I think like he could manage is because he's a super efficient shot taker.
Yeah.
For as good of a 3-point shooter as he is, he doesn't take that many of them. He's
Yeah, he
decent
only
on
has
the drive.
87 on
Like
the year.
his
Interesting.
dribble is very strong. I just it's very slow. He's very deliberate.
Yeah.
He's excellent where he is at like playing through guys who aren't terrific defenders. I don't know. I think there's a world where it works out, but I don't know that next year's team is the one that could take that chance, even though I've been like asking for him for like 2 years now.
Yeah, I mean, fair. Uh I mean, I'm looking at just like I don't know. Oh, let's just get Momcilovic. That's the obvious answer. Uh God, what would that bag even have to be?
Oh, I mean, disgusting. Because anything we put up, like Iowa State is going to organize the largest GoFundMe you've ever seen
Yeah.
to match it. I mean,
Yeah, I
you're
mean the
talking literally
university
like
would
5 million.
yeah, I mean the university would probably let kids spend their dying dollars on the NIL.
If I went there, I would.
Yeah, I'll same. I'd rather watch good basketball than eat. Um, yeah, I mean, God,
You
I don't
mentioned
know.
you mentioned Hargress earlier. I like him.
Yeah, I mean, he's on a rough team with a coach that is on retirement watch, but like he's got good numbers. He generally does productive things. Uh, was he somewhere before Colorado? I can't remember.
Yes, UC Riverside sounds. It's one of those. It's either Riverside or like Santa Barbara.
Yeah, Riverside. So I mean, Big West is fine, whatever.
He's playing.
Um,
He had to be good. He was playing over Ben Stoltzberg.
oh man, what's he up to? Actually, I know he injured again for Murray.
Oh, I keep
I think
forgetting
he
he's
is.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, that
man.
sucks.
Do you remember the story that came out? Like he got offered like 1 million a year to go play for Tel Aviv.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
would have been. I thought he made the right choice at the time. Oh,
Yeah.
oh boy, I really
Gosh.
believed in him. There you go. You want to talk about? I
Yeah.
don't know ball. I watched his tapes. I'm like, yep, that's gonna work.
I fully was bought in. Him and John C. too.
And who?
John Christophilus.
Oh yeah,
I was like, okay, these guys are
they looked like just the most like prototypical Creighton guys, just
yeah.
guaranteed to be exactly the role you would think they would be.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, this will be a like fifth starter and sixth man, and they're going to be fan favorites and
Yep.
make good decisions. And I guess they didn't really ever really get much of a chance to do so because we had a ridiculous core at their position. But yeah, I mean, I mean, counting stats, Hargreaves is really solid. Um, plays a
His
ton of
met
minutes.
his metrics are good. It's really high PRPGs, O ratings 129.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes. I mean,
it's low volume 3-point shooting, but it's 50%. Like,
yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and it's not even that low volume. I mean, it's taking, 86. That's, I mean, it's not high volume. I mean, the year before at Riverside, he took 210,
yeah.
but he must have just been chucking the ball because,
Well, yeah, I mean, his usage, he had 31 and a half usage last year, down to 19. So that's thanks
yeah.
to Isaiah Johnson taking the ball a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's something to consider too, though, is he would probably have a higher usage here. As scary
Yeah.
as that is to think about.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to do with yeah, I think the whole thesis is I don't know.
I mean, like, are you relatively comfortable with where we were at on the sheet where the I suppose sort of the most likely outcome of this offseason is we're adding a center and a point guard.
Yeah, I think I would be very surprised if that is not I mean, it might not be the order it happens in, but certainly the top two priorities of the staff.
All right, well then let's do this exercise here as we've got a few minutes left till the game. Give me your top three centers.
Um, I'll certainly add in an ounce of realism because I'm not going to say
Yes, yep.
Flory Badunga. I would
Hebekada gets
say,
his fifth year.
yeah, I would say probably this just because I absolutely have a bias towards tall centers. I'm tired of I like small ball lineups. I don't like a small ball team. I think top three portal centers are Yigitoglu, um, and then probably like Mothiam and mm, I don't know. I don't hate Volkaitis at Texas, and we'd be taking him from Sean Miller.
Hmm.
And he's a sophomore, so I kind of like that idea. But he has a low block rate, so I don't know. I mean, third would probably be like Isaiah Nelson.
Yeah, above Oswin.
Oh, actually, no. Third would be Osmond.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because I think we're on a pretty similar track there. I th I mean I like the Oswin angle just because we were so close to landing him in the first place.
Yeah. I
He's a
think,
little undersized. He fouls the shit out of people.
yep,
It will feel more like the Fred King experience than I think a lot of us would want it to.
it would. He would at least be better coached. That's a promise.
That's an absolute, right? Like that's the thing is I look at that and I'm like, all right, so that's the worst he can play, right? Like surely what
Yeah.
he's doing right now is his floor. They don't give him the ball at all. His usage is off the charts low. I mean, all right, you're the guest here. Give me a pick of who you want playing the five for us next year.
Um, I mean, if I could have my pick, I'd probably take Samad Yigitoglu.
Okay. And I think that makes sense with what we've talked about so far. That's a good timeline. You get 2 years there. You pair him up with Conan, maybe Alexa, however that shakes out. I think you can be comfortable with that. I think you know what you're going to get in that
Yeah,
situation.
I think your range of expectations is a bit tighter than other guys, and I think that's at the center position kind of what we need.
Yeah, he's going to be coming off of a tournament team most likely.
Yeah,
I
they
think
have to
that's I think
really
that's a good
mess it
idea.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not going to put it past them. There's a lot of mines to avoid in that conference.
yeah.
All right, so then point guard.
I mean, there are so many. I like Hargress. I'm kind of just naming names at present, but I like Hargress. As far as guys that are worth starting.
But we fork up $6 million for Hubbard.
Yeah, I mean, what will his? I don't know. Is he just going to follow? I mean, if Jans goes to K State, they have the money to just pay him. Um,
Yeah,
I mean,
well, that would be fun in our return game at the Octagon.
it would be so on. I will be there. It won't. It wouldn't. I don't know how I'd like that.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'll try. I'll try and have like a maybe like a some power conference guys and maybe mix in some non. But like, I don't know. There are guys like Money Williams who will be high major. I just don't think I believe in them
yep.
as a Creighton point guard.
There's
considering
a lot of those guys for me.
yeah, I mean I watched the game where they lost to Montana Tech and it was disgusting.
It's like
Um,
guys like Dior Johnson. I don't even put on my list just because I'm
no.
so sure he's going somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean he's not going to a Catholic school. Uh and like as money it's funny, Money Williams is like the exact opposite story of him. Like his like I think his like parents passed and he's like taking care of his younger siblings via NIL money. Like he's a outstanding guy, the pure opposite of Dior Johnson. Just not going to be my basketball team's point guard.
Yeah,
Um, Colby Garland's okay, but can't defend
yeah.
anyone.
I looked at him today.
I
I don't love him.
I watched them play like a week or two ago, and he just isn't a good defender. Which you know,
His shot is disgusting too.
yeah, yeah. I mean, so
I mean, that's like some guys we didn't talk about, like Xavier Brown,
yeah,
Oklahoma.
he'd be on my list for sure.
Uh,
Coached
we
by a J.
we hinted at Bizjack and Brumbaugh earlier, like they're both
Yeah,
on the list.
I mean, it sounds like Minnesota is pretty much between Marquette and Iowa State, but
I'm not too concerned about that.
I don't think he's going to be a J. But like,
Let's bring in Vox to be our 6'7" point guard.
I like the idea of an oversized point guard.
I do
I
too.
I think in our I think in our offense it could be rarely is it bad to be tall. Um,
All right, we got like 30 seconds left. Let's make a call.
let's go with Harders. I
I
want a
like it.
senior,
I like it.
and then bring in JJ behind him.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. I've appreciated having you. Good
Oh, for
talk.
sure.
We'll probably do this again at some point.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Cheers.
Thanks.